Percy, the oldest of the four Ridgeway siblings, felt conflicted as they worked to cut a few extra horses out of the ranch's herd for the trip. Feeling guilty about leaving his wife Mary in such a terrible state, a part of him was looking forward to a day or two away from the house to clear his mind. The last few weeks had been extremely difficult, and the doctor was doing all he could. But it was clear to Percy that his wife's condition was worsening. Physically, Mary no longer resembled the woman he had married, and, the hardest part to accept, her once active mind was dulled by an unending supply of laudanum that barely eased her pain. Percy returned to the task at hand and spurred his gray mare into the horse herd to cut out a paint horse he enjoyed riding. Riding along beside the paint, he strung out a lasso with his rope and tossed it over the mare's head, pulling her to a stop. Nudging the gray closer, he rubbed the paint's neck and talked to her in a low, soothing voice. Most of those on the ranch thought Percy was crazy for choosing to ride mares, often citing their tendencies to be bad-tempered and meaner than hell. But Percy found them companionable and gentle as long as they weren't in heat. He led the paint mare over to the horse wrangler for the trip, Luis Garcia. Luis was a short, compact Mexican man who had been born south of the border and had eventually migrated north. Percy thought he was one hell of a hand, and Luis could ride anything on four legs. He shook his head as he grabbed the rope and said, "Wouldn't hurt to pick out a gelding, Percy." Percy grinned, and he suddenly realized that was the first time he'd felt a spark of happiness in a long while. "Always been a ladies' man, Luis." He nodded at the paint. "That mare is as gentle as a kitten." "Might be, but kittens turn into cats, and most are meaner than hell," Luis said. "Some'd scratch your eyes out just for spite."